ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So let's read the invocation mantra and then up to the last thing, verse number 2, I think. ओम यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेदया आस्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्थमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम मेधा देवी जुषमाणा न आगात् विश्वाची भद्रा सुमनस्य माना त्वया जुष्टानुदमाना धुरुक्तान् बृहद्वधेम विदते सुवीराः त्वया जुष्ट ऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टचित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्व द्रविणो न मेधे मेधाम इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना उभावादत् आं पुष्करस्रजाम्. So number 3, मेधाम इन्द्रो ददातु मेधाम इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती. So medham. So the whole the suktam is about medha, about intellect. So medham ma means for me, or indro dadhatu. So let Indra bestow upon me the intellectual or the intellection required by me. Why does he ask Indra? Why do we ask Indra? Because I think I explained last class also that Indra is supposed to be the Shrestha of the Devatas. That's why he's called Indra. So everybody, all the Devatas or Rupa Devatas or Kuti Devatas, all of them they report Indra. So all our oblations, whether we offer it to Agni or offer it to Vayu, or any other oblation which you do, they all ultimately go to Indra. And Indra is the one who decides to make sure there is an order. So whether the rain has to come, whether the cloud has to be there, or how much of heat should be transferred, how the air should circulate, the weather conditions, all of them, it is supposed to be the Indra's domain. And Indra is supposed to be, because of this, sometimes Indra also get carried away. And Indra also is supposed to be a most contemplative person. And he is the one who is the closest to the to the Bhagavan or to the Nirgunam Brahma. So Indra is always blessed by the Bhagavan because Indra represents Dharma. Indra represents the protection of the mankind. So whenever there is injustice being done, all these people go and report Indra to protect. So Indra has got Vajrayudham, he has got Airavatam, all these different things he has got, which he can use to maneuver and control. So that's why Indro Dadhatu. So Shakti of the physical body. So why does Indra? The physical body is made of Panchabhuta, right? The 5 elements. So we got air, water, fire, space, correct, and earth. And all of these are controlled by Indra. So for us to have a healthy body and the Shakti in the physical body, more than that, there should be the physical body itself is there. But if you don't have the right Shakti, if you're not able to breathe, if there is no enough fire in the body to burn the food, or there is not enough water in the body also, we can get dehydrated. So the Shakti is required. That's why Indra is blessed. And if you don't have the Shakti, the intellect also does not work. We cannot imagine chanting, when you don't have a good health, when you're hungry, when you've got headache. All these things are required. So that's why Medham Indro Dhatu. So grant me good health and good Shakti. For that Indra is being worshipped. Then Medham Devi Saraswati. So now the worship is also for Saraswati. So Saraswati is the goddess of learning. And we don't need to say much about Saraswati because we always view that Saraswati is in the tongue, in the speech. So the power of speech itself is Saraswati. That's why Jihva me Madhumattama. So because the Vani, that's why Saraswati is called Vani also. Her name is Vani also. Right? So Vani means the sound which is there or this power of speech is represented. So that's why Medham Indro Dhadatu Medham Devi Saraswati. So Saraswati also is worshipped for the preservation of the intellect, and the purpose is not to forget what you learned. So that's why Meda Suktam is taught in the beginning. Why? Because it helps, continuous chanting on the Meda Suktam regularly, systematically, understanding what it is. It actually strengthens the intellect. It strengthens your thinking process, clarity of process, also the way you express yourself. The clarity in thinking, clarity in thoughts, clarity in speech, clarity in actions. Because unless you have clarity in thought, you will not have clarity in speech. Also, clarity in your your behavior to other people also depends upon how your thoughts are processed. So where are the thoughts are residing in the mind. So the intellect, the buddhi is the one which tells, should I do or not do, or should I say something or not say something? Should I do this? Should I do this action or not do this action? So for the righteous purpose, for the intellect to work perfectly, our buddhi should not go, either way. So it should be steady always. One cannot say, today my buddhi is not working like this. I don't know where my buddhi went. Sometimes we say this. I don't know what happened to me. Why did I say this? Because the recollection was not very clear. So we tend to make mistakes because we are humans. So we tend to make mistakes, and to avoid the mistake repeatedly, we pray for protection. That's why Medham Indro Dhadhatu Medham Devi Saraswati. Okay. Then Medham Me Ashvina Ubhavadattam Medham Me Ashvina Ubhavadattam Pushkarasraja. So in the textbook, it is Pushkarasrajau, this Pushkarasraja. So if you got, there are some Pata Veda will be there. So the chanting is always Pushkarasraja. So again, after worshipping the Indra and the Saraswati, now you are worshipping what? Medam. Then Ashvinau. So Ashvinau means there are Ashwini Kumaras. There are two Ashwini Kumaras are there. And the Ashwini Kumaras, what do? They are the divine physicians. They are Vaidya. They are Deva Vaidya. It means if anybody, they got this unique power, healing power to cure any disease. So it's called Ashwini Kumara. And this Ashvinau, there are Ashvinau. Ashwin means one. Ashvinau means two. So there are two Ashwini Kumaras who are there. They are residing in the nostrils, two nostrils. So the two nostrils which are there, that's where the Ashwini Kumaras are residing. Because if your breathing stops, then all your subsequent functions of the body stops. If you have irregular breathing, then the oxygen supplied to the body is not enough. So you can get blood pressure, you can get headache, you can get giddiness, it can even fall, you can get heart attack also. So many things are possible. So the Ashwini Kumara, by sitting there in the nostrils, what are they doing? They are indirectly protecting you by giving good health. So this is all contemplation. So how do we worship how should we take it? Is that our entire body, they call Indriyam. So Indriyam means Devatas. So Jnana Indriyam, Karna Indriyam. So all of them, they are Indriyam. So there are the Devatas residing in every part of the physical body. So the Ashwini Kumara also is residing in the nostrils. So and Ubhav means what? Both. So Ubhav means, see the word Ubhava Dattam. So Ubhav Adattam. So you break the word into Ubhav Adattam. So Ubhav means both. So both the Ashwini Kumaras, how are they? They are Adattam means they are infused or they have something on them. So Adattam means they are infused or they are having something on them. And what is this? Pushkarasraja. So Pushpam means, Pushkaraha means lotus. So Pushkar. I don't know if you've gone to Pushkar. Have you gone to Pushkar near Jaipur? Not? Okay. So Pushkar is a place where there's the only temple, the whole of India, where Brahmaji is worshipped. There's the only temple. There's no other temple Brahmaji is worshipped because nobody wants rebirth. So because I think this actually is an old story in Shiva Purana, where Shiva actually asked him to do something and he took liberty and did something. And he was given a curse that because you didn't obey my orders or obey how this Srishti should be maintained or protected, you will never be worshipped by anybody. And there's reason behind it. Not because Shiva was angry with Brahma. The reason is behind because Shiva is Samhara Murti. So the one in which everything resolves. Correct? Then the creation is Brahma. So both are actually opposites. So the creation has to take place, then only the samharam has to come into existence. So what he said was, eventually you have to come to me only. So you may be given the role of a creator also. But remember ultimately that even the creation also has to come into me. That's why Shivam. So when I say Shivaha is worshipped as the Samhara Murti, he doesn't have any decoration. He lives in, so Vishnu is for protection, sustenance of the universe. So whereas Shiva is always very serious. So you don't want to get on the wrong side of Shiva. Right? That's why he says here that this Pushkar, so lotus, right? And Pushkas Sraja means is garlanded. Sraja means garlanded. So these Ashwini Kumaras have actually got the lotus mala, garland in their body, on their neck. And they are worshipped in that form. And how are they worshipped? In terms of the physical form, they are worshipped as somebody that's living in celestial being in Indra Loka. And they are the physicians of Indra. So Indra, if any devata is falling sick or anything happening there, Ashwini Kumaras will go there. And they will, just by their touch or just by their saying some mantras, the person will get cured. Right? So here is worshipped as Saguna Brahma in the form of the physical form of the garland, etc. In the form of other Saguna Brahman, it is worshipped in us as in the nostrils where we take breath. So the power of breathing is there, is inside there. So that is how it says, Medham me Ashwina Ubhava Dattam Pushkaras Raja. So Ubhav Adattha. Then, so let's read the other one. Medham Indro Dadhatu Medham Devi Saraswati Medham me Ashwina Ubhava Dattam Pushkaras Raja Apsara Suchaya Medha Apsara Suchaya Medha Gandharveshu cha Medha Gandharveshu cha Yan Manaha Apsara Suchaya Medha Gandharveshu cha Yan Manaha. So remember, the swara is very important. So that's why I'm taking time to do it correctly. In case you have heard wrong, or in case you have taught you incorrectly before, this is the correct way. Okay. So Apsara Su. So Apsara Asu means, Apsara means what? Damsels, beautiful maiden. So Indra Loka, Indra is famous for what? Apsara Loka, correct? Indra is famous for enjoyment, Bhoga Loka. So where all the beautiful maidens and damsels are there dancing, there's always music, Soma Pan will be there, drinking will be there, and enjoying lifestyle. That's what people say, na? If you do a lot of punyam, where will you go? You'll go to Indra Loka. So Indra Loka, what do you do there? Indra will say, oh, see, this place is not permanent for you. I'll give you a few years, maybe 20 years you can live there. You have got extremely amount of punyam, and you will go in a different physical body, not in this body. You'll be given a body suitable for Indra Loka. This is for people who are actually want to go to Indra Loka. See, there are two things. One thing is, you want to go to Indra Loka, then this story is applicable. If you don't want to go to Indra Loka, then this is not applicable for you. You can just dismiss it. But for the people who think that there is some Loka above me, there is something there which is very beautiful than this Loka. This Bhuloka is supposed to be not a very happy loka. There's always dukkham, right? So you go to Indraloka. So Indraloka, what do you do there? So you have to go in a different physical form. You cannot go in this body. Just as when this Trishanghu Maharaj, he wanted to go, and he had this very weird idea that he want to go to Indraloka with the physical body he has got. So between Vishwamitra and Indra, there's a big fight. Vishwamitra had committed to him that I will send through my tapas, I'll send you in the same form to Indraloka. And because the commitment has been given, so when he passed away, he said, now you've got to honor the commitment. So Vishwamitra, through his tapas, he's a very, he's a Brahma Rishi. So the person who's got extreme tapas. So the person, what he did mantra, he did tantra, etc. And then he says, now go. So Trishanghu Maharaj just prays, he just goes the physical body upstairs to Indraloka. Indra says, with this manav, with this physical body which is made of so much of impurities, because after the death of the physical body, the body itself starts, not even within 2-3 hours, it's decomposing. You can see that. You do not need to be, even if a person is very beautiful, there is what you call some embalming, I don't know, something they call embalming something. So they do all these things to make it beautiful also, but still after some time the body starts to rot. It comes with the natural, so the lips start to become black, the eyes, everything, you can see the color of the body changes. So you cannot go in that form to that Indraloka, because there the people are got Amritam. Those people never have death. They never die. So their body is in different condition. How can you go in this form? But yes, Vishwamitra has given promise. So he has to fulfill the promise. So he says, you go. So Trishanghu Maharaj goes upstairs to Indraloka. Indra says, no, you cannot come in this physical body. You go down. So he pushes him down to Vishwamitra. Again, he comes back. Again, sends him up. Again, he comes down. So there's a big war going on between the two. Because Vishwamitra also is a very egoistic person. Correct. And Indra also is a very egoistic person, because he doesn't want anybody to come and capture Indraloka or other people. If he allows this person, Vishwamitra will send more people. Correct. To become an example. So he doesn't want that to even do that. That's why Trishanghu is, when they say, is in Tamil we call Naditra Narayana. Neither here nor there. So it is even said that even now is going up and down, because it's just a story. But what it says is here, if you are not adequately prepared, you will neither be here nor will be there. Correct. So you cannot have in between status. See, I will have something in between. Let me do this. Let me do that. You cannot. Either you go that way or you go this way. There is no in between path where you can hold on to say, let me hold on to all these things. That's why Adi Shankara always says what? Karma jnana samuchayam is not possible. He dismisses the whole theory at all. See, karma jnana samuchayam means what? Karma and jnanam, they both are opposites. Where there is jnanam, karma cannot exist. Because when you have purna jnanam, then in jnanam you understand you are the Atma, the consciousness, as the Akarta. So when you take the ownership of you as Akarta or the consciousness, then it becomes, there's no karma associated to the Atma. So naturally, from the point of the Atma, you say that I am Akarta. But from the standpoint of the Upadhi, you are a doer. Correct. But if you take yourself as a doer, as the karmi, then you cannot take ownership of the Atma. You cannot say that I am the Atma today, tomorrow I can also be the karma, today I can be like this. You cannot. You can only have one status. You can have intermittent status for some time, but you cannot have permanently. That's why Trishanghu says that he wants to go with the physical body. Indra says that no, you go and change yourself, go and ask Vishwamitra that you have to come in a different form, applicable for in that loka. And Vishwamitra doesn't want to do it. So he doesn't bother sending up and down parcels. That's what it says here. Apsarasu. So because There, all the apsaras are dancing. Beautiful maidens are there. And what? Medha. So, remember one thing, these people who are in, the damsels who are there, beautiful maiden, they are not just dumb damsels. They are very sharp because they are from Indra's court. They have been taught by Indra about all these things. They know how to deal with human beings, or they know how to deal with people who have got desire, or they have something like even Vishwamitra, the great Vishwamitra also got, by Menaka, she came and danced and he fell. All his tapas went down completely because Indra sent a person just to break the tapas of Vishwamitra because he was doing something which is dangerous for the Devaloka. So he wanted to do that. And that is how, so what it means that they have the intellect, they have the power to do that, and they are trained. That's why Apsara Suchaya Medha. So you also respect the Apsaras there, not for their physical form, not for their dancing prowess, but for their intellect. So we all want intellect everywhere, whatever intellect is given. So you have intellect, give it to me. Indra, you have intellect, give it to me. You have Ashwini Kumara, give that to me. So you want intellect, all you want, because you don't want to be short of anything. You never know what you will have. So if at all we have a Shabalam somewhere left, see if at all, suppose if Menaka comes and dances, how life will be. I would just be dancing. I will go to Indraloka, happily I will go there, stay there. Correct. So that also you don't want to have that. So even that should be removed. That's why it is intellect. So intellect to discern between what is asatyam and satyam. So apsara, suchaya, medha. So medha means again the intellect. So the intellect present in the apsara. Then Gandharveshu cha yan manaha. So Gandharvas. So there are also Gandharvas. There are also another celestial beings. So Apsaras, Gandharvas, Devas, Ashwini Kumaras. So they all have their own capacity. Agni, Vayu, Varuna, Kubera. So all these are Devatas. So we do Kubera worship, right? Kubera Puja we do on Diwali day, right? So before Diwali day we do Kubera Puja, Lakshmi Puja, right? So why do we do that? Because we want wealth to come. Because Kuberan should come. Lakshmi Puja I should do because you want Lakshmi to come. So Agni, we know Agni because Agni is supposed to be the one which is purifying all activities. So we do Agni also, Agni Karan. So all of these are Devatas. But all these people report to only one Devata at the moment called Indra. That's why Indra is worshipped beginning. Correct? So we do not worship Saraswati. Medam Indro Dathatu Medam Devi Saraswati. Right? So Gandharveshu cha Yanmanaha. So the celestial musician, Gandharva is supposed to be the celestial musicians in the court of Indra. So where the Apsaras are dancing, the musicians has to sing. So they can play different types of Vadyam. Correct? So Gandharveshu cha yan manaha. So manaha means here, it talks about the intellect. So that which is belonging to the musicians, that which is the intellect present in the musicians, be given to me. So the intellect present in the Apsaras should be given to me. The intellect present in the Gandharvas be given to me. Correct? Then Ashwini Kumara, Indra, Saraswati. So you asked all of them. Apsara Suchaya Medha Gandharveshu cha yan manaha. Then Daivi Medha Daivi Medha Saraswati Sama Medha. Daivi Medha Saraswati Sama Medha. Surabhir Jushatam. Surabhir Jushatam. So in the book it is Jushatagum Swaha. So some people chant this, but it's not be chanted. Because this Swaha is supposed to be an oblation. It is a karma physical oblation. So whereas what we are seeing here is the contemplation mantra, the meditation on the intellect. So if you got in a book or if you're taught like this, either by your own guru or YouTube or somebody else where you learned, you correct it. That Daivi Medha Saraswati Sama Medha Surabhir Jushatam. So Jushatagum Swaha should be removed, saying Jushatam. And what is this? Daivi. So Daivi means what? Divine. That belongs to that which is very auspicious, called Daivi. And who is this Daivi? This Medha. So Medha is what? Saraswati here. Right? So Daivi Medha. So the Medha here is intellect, and the intellect belongs to Saraswati. So the Saraswati again is worshipped here. The goddess of power, goddess of knowledge, wisdom is Saraswati. So Daivi Medha Saraswati Sama. So Sam in that Medha we discussed before. That Saraswati which is discussed before. Sama Medha. See, Mam means me. So Samam means that Saraswati which I worshipped before, and this Saraswati which is of the nature of divinity to me, right? Medha Surabhir. So Surabhi, when I say, it is the wish fulfilling cow. Surabhi. So Surabhi is supposed to be the name of the cow. Wish fulfilling cow. So this also, the cow also belongs to Indraloka. So if you worship the cow, the particular cow, and it's called Kamadhenu also. So Surabhi, Kamadhenu. So the one which can give whatever you want. So you have to worship that also. So Surabhir. And Jushatam. So Jushatam means what? May bless. So let me be blessed by whom? By the Devi who is of the nature of Medha, and her name is called Saraswati. So Devi Medha Saraswati Samam. So that Saraswati which we discussed before, which I referred before, give it to me, let me be given, Ma'am. Surabhir Jushatam. So Surabhi means what? That which is becomes the celestial cow or the wish fulfilling cow. So when I say wish fulfilling, what? Here we are not asking for any house or any property or anything. Here we are asking for intellect. There is nothing asked here. So if at all we have any particular thought, see, these people all can give anything, let me go and ask something. No. Here the whole purpose of having this discussion, this particular text, is give me intellect, give me intellect, give me intellect. Give me the right buddhi, right buddhi, right buddhi. Because with buddhi you can achieve anything you want. If you don't have the buddhi, what will you do with wealth? Correct. See, whatever wealth you have got, little bit wealth you can protect if you have the right buddhi. But manda buddhi if you have, then it's not possible, correct? That's why manda buddhi is called Murkhadipati. Murkha Adipati. So Murkhadipati. Because the Manda Buddhi is supposed to be the Murkha. Murkha means deluded person. Not Murkha means very cruel person. Murkha means the person who does not know what is the right thing to do. So Murkha Adipati. So Murkhadipati. So Murkhadipati and so Surabir Jushatam. Manda Buddhi. So Murkhadipati and Manda Buddhi, they go together. So Daivi Medha Saraswati Sama Medha Surabir Jushatam Apsara Suchaya Medha Gandharve Shuchayan Manaha Daivi Medha Saraswati Sama Medha Surabir Jushatam. Next. Ama Medha Surabhir Vishwarupa Surabhir Vishwarupa Hiranyavarna Jagati Jagamya Ama Medha Surabhir Vishwarupa Hiranyavarna Jagati Jagamya. So Ama so means means come. Mom, come to me. So Ama means what? You please come. Right? And what are you asking for? Medha. So let the intellect come to me. Ama Medha. And how is the Medha? Surabhi. So which is of the nature of the wish fulfilling cow. So Surabhir, Jushatam, Ama Medha Surabhir, or belonging to the wish fulfilling cow. So Surabhir Medha is the one. The Surabhir Medha is an adjective. So the Medha is the intellect and Surabhi is supposed to be the wish fulfilling cow. So what it indicates is here that the Surabhi, the wish fulfilling cow, is referred to as Saraswati. So the one who can give you the intellect is called Surabhir Medha. Surabhir Medha. Then how is this Medha? Vishwarupa. So Vishwarupa means this Saraswati is in the form of all knowledge. Okay. So Vishwarupa is in the form of all knowledge. So when you say all knowledge means what? All the objects, anything which is known to you is an object of knowledge. Anything which is known to you. Ignorance is known to you. Forgetful is known to you. Pain is known to you. Remembrance is known to you. All of them also is known to you. All of this is intellect. Okay. So, Vishwarupa, and so these are adjectives for Medha. So now what we are seeing is, this is the way the Medha is interpreted for Saguna Brahma. So Vishwarupa Medha, Surabhir Medha, Hiranyavarna Medha. So Hiranyavarna means what? Hiranya means gold and Varna means a color. So Hiranyavarnam means the one who is of the nature of gold or glittering. Gold glitters. Right? That's why we wear gold. Why do we wear gold? Because the diamond is supposed to be not glittering. The diamond is supposed to be, but the gold, when you see it, it'll glitter. Right? So Hiranyavarna, the one who is of the golden complexion. So even in the Sisuktam, Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarna Rajadasrajam. So Hiranyavarnam Harinim. What is Harinim? Belonging to the Hari. Harini is the feminine gender, correct? So Hiranyavarnam Harini, that belongs, the consort of Hari is Harini. Correct. And now we see Suvarna, so of the naked gold. And Ratajasrajam. So she is seated on the golden chariot. Just so that is how it is there. So when we see the Sri Suktam, we'll see the meaning of that also there. So Hiranyavarna means the one of golden complexion, and this intellect is worshipped as brilliance. So it's like, when you have a flash of light. So the flashing of the intellect, suddenly you get this flashing of it. See, the intellect is something not always there. Buddhi. Buddhi comes and goes. Correct? You cannot steadily hold the buddhi like this all the time. When you want, you apply the buddhi. So when the particular situation demands, what does it do? The intellect just rises. So the flashing of the light or the flashing of the intellect is referred here as Hiranyavarna. So just as when the sun, shines and the gold reflection is reflected immediately, correct? After some time the sun moves, the gold is not reflected again. Again, when the sun again comes, it's reflected. So that's what this flashing of the light is compared here, or the flashing of the intellect is referred as Hiranyavarna. So Hiranyavarna Medha, Vishwarupa Medha, Surabir Medha. So three adjectives are given here for the intellect of Saraswati, which is given here. Then Jagati, another adjective, Jagati. That intellect or that knowledge which is lit in the form of the Jagat, the entire universe. So the entire universe is seen as a representation of the same Medha. Because without the intellect, you cannot have cognition. So if you don't have the intellect, you don't know, see, people do not have the right buddhi. You can tell whatever they want. They will just keep blabbering, they will say something. So if you got, I think, is it Parkinson's or something, some disease somewhere. So, or some disease, Alzheimer's. Is it Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's, right? So in such a case, like when you have the disease, it's a slowly degradation of the mind. It's a steady degradation of the mind where the person doesn't recollect anything. He does not know. Even if somebody stands in front of you, you say, I am a putra, I am a putri. He'll look like this. So he doesn't know because the intellect is not there. So the intellect is not there. The object cannot be recognized. The words, the person can know that you are saying something, but he does not know what words are being said or what the words indicate an object of knowledge. So that's why intellect is keep on worshipped here. Give me intellect, right? Buddhi. Throughout my lifestyle, my entire life, I need to have the right intellect. So Jagati. So the universe, which is called the Jagati Mata, Jagati Medha. So Jagati Medha, Hiranyavarna Medha, Vishwarupa Medha, Surabir Medha. So 4, correct? Then Jagamya Medha. So when you say Jagamya, it means that which is approachable or accessible. So when I say accessible, it means this intellect is something which is accessible to you easily, correct? You don't have to go and search for the intellect. See, searching for the intellect also requires intellect, correct? If you want to go and search for the intellect, then you should know where to search for. Like there was a story where one old woman was sitting on the veranda, and there's a dim light in the veranda, like not in the olden days. There's only candle will be there, the lantern, which will reflect light only to certain areas. So she lost, her earring or something. She lost in that place, and so there were some boys playing around. The boy, he told, see, I lost my earrings. Why don't you go and search? Can you search for it? So the boys are playing just outside of the light. So as soon as the old lady told, search for this particular ring, they were searching there. Because they didn't ask, party, where did you lose the earring? They didn't ask because they thought that the earring is lost and they were searching in the wrong place. So if you search in the wrong place, then the person asked, why are you searching there? It is lost here. It's here. Look for here. So even choose the intellect also, you need the intellect. That's why we must always worship that we have the intellect all the time. That's why Jagamya. That is accessible to you easily. You do not need to search for anything. You do not go very far away, the intellect is something like this. So Jagamya. So that Medha, which is already lit, already it is shining and accessible. So two definitions. That is shining and is accessible. So Ama Medha Surabhir Vishwarupa Hiranyavarna Jagati Jagamyam. Then Urjasvati Payasa Urjasvati Payasa Pinvamana Urjasvati Payasa Pinvamana Sama Medha Sama Medha Supratika Jushantam Urjasvati Payasa Pinvamana Sama Medha Supratika Jushantam. So Jushantam, so bless us. Okay. So may you bless or may she bless. Bless what? Urjaswati. So Urjaswati, Urjam means the strength. Right? Urjam means the strength. So there should be strength. So let me be blessed with strength inside me. So one has to be strength mentally and physically also. So let me be powerful. Let me be aware. It's called Urjaswati. Then Payasa. So Payas means here actually means not payasam, it is milk. So Payas means, Payasa means that which is of the nature of milk. Milk is supposed to be white. Right? So white is supposed to be representing purity of purity. Black represents what? Darkness. White represents purity. That's why we always want white. So that it means what? Payasa means as clear as white. Okay. So means knowledge. So when you say white means what is knowledge? So the black represents darkness, the white represents knowledge. So the Payasa is also another adjective. So Payasa is also another adjective for knowledge. And Urjasvati. So let me be given again knowledge and let me be given strength. Then Pinvamana. So showering, not just giving you dribs and drabs. So you don't want intellect to be given, today I'm okay. But you want continuous showering of the intellect. You just keep on see, if you have rains continuously, right? You like it. If the rain just comes once in 6 months, something like this, then what do? You feel, oh, I wish the rain was here all the time. And there's not a single person here who says, I don't like rains. Because rain is supposed to be the nourisher of everything. Without rain, this bhumi will be Kandak bhumi. Like there is nothing there. It will be hot. So the Tiruchi is called Kandak bhumi, right? Kandak bhumi, right? Because it's very hot all the time. You can't, if you go to the Srirangam temple, during hot day, cannot keep your feet on the ground. It will literally burn your feet. Even the sand also is very hot. People are used to that, they get used to it. But suddenly if you go from Australia after a long time and you want to go to Srirangam temple, and it happened to you on the wrong side of the day, then you will not be able to enjoy it, because all the time you'll be worrying only about your feet getting hurt. You will not see the Gopuram, you will not see the Bhagavan, you will only be worried about your feet. So what it says here is that Urjaswati, let me gain strength, let me get strength. And Pinvamana, showering. So let me be showered continuously with knowledge. Not sometimes I have knowledge, sometimes I don't have. I should have intellect all the time. Buddhi should be there all the time. So Pinvamana, Sa Maam means let that Medha to me, Supratika. Su means what? Auspicious. And Pratika here means to study the scripture. See this. Now you are asking for what? After give me intellect, give me all these things, give me good health. After what do you do with intellect? I want to go and watch TV. I want to do something else. No. It says to study scripture. So Pratika, right? So Pratima, when you say, is the symbol, right? Pratima, when you say, is a murti. And Pratika is a sound. So sound symbol of the Lord. So Pratika means what? Now you learn the scripture. How do you learn scripture? You learn the scripture only by the Guru teaching you. You do not learn the scripture just by yourself. Even for learning also, you need someone to tell you. Even YouTube has to speak to you. CD has to speak to you, then only you can learn. But you cannot ask the CD back, or you can't ask YouTube back. But you can ask the Guru back also as to teach me more or explain this more. That is why traditionally this represents the start of the teaching. So Supratika Jushantam. So Urjaswati Payasa Pinvamana Sama Medha Supratika Jushantam. So Supratika Jushantam. So may you bless with Urjaswati, health, Payasa, give me knowledge in the form of clarity, which is milk. And how do you want the knowledge? Pinvamana, showering, continuous showering. That means when I start the study, I do not want my intellect to get disturbed. Suddenly I will not get lost. See, sometimes it's possible to go off track. Correct. So when you're studying, why I'm studying this, I don't know. Today I want to take a break. All these things will come to you. And what we are asking is what? We do not want to take a break. We want to study systematically, continuously, regularly for a lengthy period of time. So Pratika Jushantam. Then Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Yagnistejo Dhadhatu, Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Yagnistejo Dhadhatu, Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Indra, Indriyam Dadhatu, Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Suryo Brajo Dadhatu. So now what are you asking for? Finally, you're asking for Mayi Medha. So give me intellect. Mayi Prajam. So what? Praja means what? In my progeny. So now you're asking for not only for yourself, let my children be given Sadbuddhi. So something which you ask. See, I don't know what children will be having. If at all we have children, let them be blessed with good knowledge. Correct? Because it is not okay for you to be having Sadbuddhi. You should also have other people around you having Sadbuddhi. Then only you will survive. Durbuddhi people, if you are around people, what will you do? You will also get, ultimately Durbuddhi will come to you. You cannot be holding strong. So you want to be among the people or praja. Praja means not just progeny. Praja means people. So literal means you are asking for my progeny. That means my generation of people who are there, whom I am connected. So my meda, my praja. So my people and to me. Right. And what do you ask? My agnihi. So tejo dadatu. So let the agni, which is of the nature of brilliance, be given to me. Right. So my Indra Indriyam. So sorry, my Indra. So Indra means what? As I told you, Indra is the one which is giving the virility or the strength, Indra. So you need strength. So when you study Shastram also, you need strength to stand up. You should be able to sit for 8 hours a day. You don't have to, but I'm telling you, if you study Shastram, when you go to Gurukulam, etc., I don't know, you'll have to sit for 8 hours a day. You can't go anywhere. You just can't go. Class after class, there'll be class. Sanskrit class, this class, Upanishad class, Bhagavad Gita class, Satsang will be there, homework will be there, Sanskrit homework will be there. You go to sleep at 9:30, wake up at 4:30 for doing your Nitya Karma, everything, whatever you want to do. So it will be for 3 years non-stop bombardment. You can't survive sometimes. 1 hour also, sometimes we feel sleepy. Kottavi varade, Thukam varade, Tala adikkaradu, all the things are coming. We struggle. Right? Like Krishnaji is struggling. So imagine, like, if you have to do 8-hour class or 7-hour class in a day, you'll be able to do that. Sometimes somebody comes here, you will be starting class at 9:30, you will go only at 6 o'clock, 6:30. So non-stop Brahman consciousness, this Atma, etc. Half the time people will disappear after one class. After lunch they will disappear. Slowly there will be only 10 people, only 3 people will be in the class. 4 people all disappear. So anyway, so Mayi Bhedha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Indra, Indriyam Dadhatu. So let Indra give me Indriyam. Or Indriyam means what? The virility or the strength. Okay, Dadhatu. Mayi Bhedha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Yagnistejo Dadhatu. So again you're asking for Agni also. So you're asking Agni for the brilliance, you're asking for Indriyam or the virility from Indra, and my Meda, my Praja. So for me and my Praja, my Suryo. So Surya means what? The brilliance of the sun. Correct? So when the knowledge is ripe, then you see the tejas coming into your face. So somebody will say, see, when you look at the person, he's radiant. You see, the knowledge is there. Somehow there's some tejas is there. Brahma tejas. See, brahmacharis, when you do chanting regular, right? You will say what? He's got Brahma tejas. Why do you say Brahma tejas? Because kalai, we call, na? Because that particular process will actually bring that, the shine in your face. You don't know about it. For you, your face will be exactly same as every day, what you see for 25 years. But the person who is actually next to you, something is different. He is different or she is different. Now, I can see the difference there. But you will say, I don't see any difference because you're seeing yourself in the same place as it is. Only other person can know how you are. See, if you have a mirror, you can look at yourself, correct? But other aspects of the mirror cannot be told by the mirror. So only when you speak, then only this person is knowledgeable. He knows, she knows. So that's how you know about it. So this brilliance is coming from where? The sun. The sun is the illuminator. So let me be the illumined by the sun as brilliant as sun. So Mayi Medham, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Suryo, Bhrajo Dhadatu. So Bhrajaha means brilliance. Surya means sun. So the brilliance of the sun be infused into me. Dadhatu. Now the last mantra, Om Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe, should not be chanted by grahasthas. It is a sannyasa mantra. It is chanted because Om Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahi Parama Hamsaya Dhimahi. So the Hamsa is supposed to be, we are going to conclude another 5 minutes maximum. Hamsa is supposed to be a swan, correct? So the swan has got the capacity to distinguish between milk and water. If you give in a bowl milk mixed with water, it somehow knows how to extract only the milk and leave the water behind. So the wise person is Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe, means just as the Hamsa, the swan, knows how to do this distinction between the truth and the untruth, that is water and the milk. So Vidmahe, Vid means knowledge. So give me that knowledge by which I can discern the truth and the untruth. And how? Paramahamsaya Dhimahi. So Paramahamsa is supposed to be what? Where you have left everything. So Paramahamsa is supposed to be one sannyasi who is not even interested in anything. So he is not interested in teaching. A person is only pursuit of Brahman only. So Paramahamsa sannyasis are supposed to be different. See, in the Jivan Mukti Viveka, this elaborate discussion of Paramahamsa. It's actually nearly impossible for someone to become a Paramahamsa unless you have absolute clarity, absolutely you are sure that this life is not for you. You cannot be involved in any way with society also, like teaching or mingling with people. So the Paramahamsa people, you can't see them. They will always go on the outskirts of the city. You will only know that such people existing there. Siddhargal. You heard about them, but you have not seen them. But they will be spotted. Sometimes you will see them, and sometimes you will not see them at all for months and years. They will be somewhere there. So that's called Paramahamsa. So they leave everything, and they are just by themselves, no connection with anybody else. That's why when you are in Grahastha, you must not chant this. Especially children, we do not teach them, because when you chant this sannyas yoga will come to you very quickly. Then it will be a problematic thing, because suddenly if you take sannyasa and then you are not ready, then what happens? You cannot go back and come. I forgot about something, incomplete is there. I want to complete to Grahastha. You can't. Once you go into the path, you cannot come back. That's why we don't chant this mantra for the Parayana. But for the people who already become wise, they can chant. But when you are learning this, you must not be teaching this. So, with this, we concluded the Mida Suktam. It's a very small text, but very powerful text. Hope you enjoyed, right? You are able to follow. Have you got any questions in this Suktam? Anything you want to know or anything you want to ask?
How to practice this chanting, Ji? Because
you have to come to chanting class, Madaji. I mean, I try to chant. The people here, like I think Pushpaji knows. Krishnaji actually is some scratch. He's Shukla Mardam student actually.
I can send the recording if you want. If she wants.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. See, you have to see. When you come to the class, even the children who are 6 years old, they can chant the Mida Suktam. See, the Bala Gurukulam students who come to my class, they chant without books. I never teach them with books. They don't have any books. I teach them orally, and they learn, and then they chant. So in the school, in the Gurukulam class, I discourage them from having any books. They never come with any books. So they will, last 2 years they have been learning. They can chant Aditya Hridayam by heart. They can chant 31 slokas Aditya Hridayam. They can chant Mida Suktam. They can chant all the about 35 slokams they can chant by heart. Stotrams. So now I am teaching them Achyutastakam.
Yeah, I heard them the other day. Beautiful it was.
Yeah. Now they are learning bhajans. I am teaching them bhajans. So now they are supposed to learn bhajans. So some small bhajans I am teaching them. So Achyutastakam is being taught. Then Madhurastakam is being taught there. So I will be teaching them all of them. So that group will become. See, eventually that children group will be, by the time they will be 10, 11 years of age, they will probably get into the next level. So learning text, higher text.
When is that happening?
Huh?
When is that happening?
That is on every Sunday, 9:30 to 10:15.
Online or at home?
No.
At home.
No, presence, physical presence. You can bring Srinikesh if you want to.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
How old is Srinikesh? He's 5.
Yeah, he's 5.
Okay. I got the youngest one is 6. 6 years. We started 6 years.
Okay. Maybe next year then.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can come and listen. Basically, all the kids they have sharp intellect. You think that they are dumb. They can pick up things better than us. If we take 1 year, they will take 3 months to learn.
Yeah.
But they listen. Their listening capacity is so strong that they can pick up very quickly. Very quickly they can pick up.
Yeah.
So the
The only problem is he should sit.
Huh?
Only problem is he should sit.
See, Srivatsa, when I started the class, right, they can't sit for even 6 minutes, 5 minutes. Now, then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. Now they can sit for 1 hour in the class.
Okay.
45 minutes they can sit. This 6, 7-year-old, one girl who's only 11, who's only about 10 years old each. 10 years old. That's sing, the girl who sang, Ananya, right? You heard she sang the song, right? The girl who sang the Jojo Rama, right? So that girl is 10 years. She's practicing, she's learning music. Other than that, those people are all 6, 7 years of age. They are only in, year 1 or something, year 2, something like this. They are very young. But they've been learning for the last 2 years now. So why I'm telling, because the earlier you start, it is better. So it doesn't mean that if you are late means, oh, I'm too late, I can't learn. No, for learning, there's no age, number one. Only your interest, your time is important. Because we do not charge any fees for anybody. So, but the thing is, even sometimes people ask me, Shankar, you're not charging any fees, that's why they're not coming to you. He said, you tell them $10 a class, they will come because they're committed to come to the class. I said, I don't want to have any, I don't need to have that. So a lot of people charge, music class will go $10 a class. So if you go, you have to pay $10. So unless you're committed, you will not go there. So anyway, so Radhaji, for chanting, if you want to, you can, we have a regular chanting class there. I put in the today's WhatsApp group what time classes are there. You're more than welcome to join online if you can, or if you are living nearby, you can come in person. If you learn in person, is better for you because you can hear directly and you can correct mistakes.
But I cannot continue because I will be going back.
Yeah, I know you'll be going back, correct. Yeah, whenever, I mean.
But if you have anything recorded.
No, Krishnaji is online now. He's a New Zealand person. He's actually, for him, I have got online class because I have no choice. He can't come here.
Okay.
So you can also see the same class which I'm running every day, every class. Same as you can dial there and you can listen, you can go on mute, you can listen.
Oh, sure.
You have a book and then you can practice at your own speed. The recording is also given. Krishnaji can give a recording to you.
I'll get it from you.
So you've got so many recordings out there, you can give it. I don't record anything in the class, the students record for themselves. Okay.
Thank you, Ji.
So with this, we conclude our Meda Suktam. The next week, we will either do, not about which one I should do. Maybe you should do Pavamana Suktam. I will probably do, if you can do Pavamana Suktam. Or we'll do Narana Suktam or something. We'll see which one is there. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Tatsat Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. See, Pushpaji, your question about Ashwina Ubha, right? You have to chant as Ashwina Ubhava Dattam. So you cannot break it. Ashwina Ubhava Dattam. So Ashwina Ubhavaha Adattam. So that's a 3-letter it's a big compound word broken into 3. But when chanting, it is Ashwina Ubhava Dattam. So that's why you see here that word. That the who is going down? Ashwina Ubhav. Who is going down, right? Ashwina Ubhava Datta. So when you do chanting slowly, you'll be able to do it clearly. Okay. Okay. Hari Om.